Hi guys, welcome. Scatlink here, and we are off for The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance, but it will be covering differences between both versions, being the SNES version and the GBA. Long ago in Hyrule, a beautiful kingdom surrounded by forests and mountains. Legends told of an omnipotent and omniscient golden power that lay hidden. It was hidden in a sacred realm beyond the reach of men. But one day, a doorway to that realm was suddenly opened. Hoping to claim the golden power as their own, the people began to quarrel and fight. Many sought to enter the hidden golden land, but none returned, and instead the evil power began to issue forth from the dark portal. So the king commanded 7 sages to seal the gate to the land of the golden power. Many brave knights were lost in the battle to protect the sages from the tides of evil. But the seal was cast! Evil flowed no more, and the seal would remain for all time. Or so the people believed. But when these events were obscured by the mists of time, and became legend, a mysterious wizard known as Agahnim appeared as from nowhere. And with strange magic powers he eliminated the good King of Hyrule. He cast spells on the soldiers and kidnapped young maidens descended from the sages, in order to break the seal. This destiny fast approaches for the final maiden, the Princess Zelda.
Help me. Please help me. I'm a prisoner in the castle dungeon. My name is Zelda. The wizard Agahnim has done something terrible to the other girls. Now only I remain. Agahnim has seized control of the castle and even now is trying to open the sage's seal. I am in the dungeon of the castle. Please, help me.
Scatlink, I'm going out for a bit, but there's no need for you to worry. I'll be back by morning, but I don't want you leaving the house until then. Go back to bed, and wait for me to return. Well, you heard her, Uncle. Let's go back to sleep. Are you kidding me? We got a game to play. We just started. I've been wanting to play this game for years on the channel. I've been wanting to cover this game for quite a while, and this version specifically, because not only have I played this version a lot more than the SNES version, funnily enough, maybe a little bit more so than the SNES version, they're pretty close. This version's got a lot more content in it. It's got a few differences that are quality of life changes, and you know what? The soundtrack isn't even that much butchered. It sounds pretty much on point, except for the slight tinniness that you get for the Game Boy Advance. Unlike some other SNES to GBA remakes / ports like Final Fantasy VI, Super Mario World, those kind of things. Or maybe even the other all-star versions of games like Super Mario Bros. 2, even though that version is more original than Doki Doki Panic. Anyway, going on a bit, I had to press start to bring up that menu. That's normally select in the SNES version. For whatever reason, start and select are different. We've already got our overview of the controls right here. A is our items. It'll be Y in the SNES version. R is to talk, read, pull, and lift, but you can use A to talk and read as well, just as a quality of life change. Map's not X, it is L in this case, but we can't use it at the moment until we get outside. I can do the cha-cha right here. Look at this. So just freaking try to grab stuff that I'm not supposed to be able to at the time, but we can pick up pots, that's all cool.
Help me. I'm in the dungeon of the castle. Somewhere outside the castle you should find a hidden entrance to the palace garden.
Zelda's getting desperate. I'm going to leave this chest for now. And you'll see why in a bit. So now I can actually access the map, and as you can see here, we've got some nice sweet Mode 7 effects, or something similar to the, on the GBA at least. But this is a very detailed map, pretty much showing you exactly where you can go, and we know exactly where to go. Hyrule Castle. So let's get on with that at the moment. Oh, this is not good. They got riot shields. You never see any knights use these shields, or even in this colour. Hey, what are you doing out on a stormy night like this? A kid like you should be heading home and going to bed. But if you plan on staying out, and keep talking to our soldiers. We'll teach you a thing or two. Oh yeah? If you get lost wandering the streets, press the L button to check your map. But maybe you already knew that. Yep, kinda did. Can we go this way? Nope. You look strong for a kid. Do you even lift, bro? You do know you can press the R button when you're touching some of the lift things, yeah? Bet you didn't know that, or did you? Yeah, this Link's stronger than the one in Ocarina of Time, because you can actually pick up bushes right from the get-go. Which, ironically enough, if you know about the timeline, this game takes place on the Downfall timeline, the first Downfall timeline after Ocarina. This game's also harder than Ocarina. It came out before Ocarina. Confusing, I know. I'll bet you can't wait to get a sword like mine. You just press the B button to use it, excuse me. But maybe you knew that. Yeah, well, once we do get a sword, that's what we gotta do. But yeah, some differences to the SNES version, but the graphics are pretty much on point. The contrast isn't actually that messed up. Of course, I'm on the Game Boy player, so I can record it for you guys. I will give 100 rupees to the man who finds that the sentence of the Seven Sages the king. Yeah, I doubt the king was the one who wrote that, considering that us, the players, have just been told that he is dead. Hey, you're not allowed in the castle, son. Go home and get some sleep. Excuse me, I am a Hyrule Knight in training, my boy. I think I'm allowed to go to the place of where I work, where I must. Plus, where is our uncle? Follow Zelda's instructions. We find a secret into the sewers. Oh dear. Uncle! That voice. Scatlink? Is it you? I thought I told you to wait at home. I suppose there's no escaping destiny. Here, take this sword and shield from me. I shall teach you one of the secret sword techniques used by the Knights of Hyrule. Hold the B button to focus power in your blade. Release it to unleash the power. Scatlink, you must rescue Princess Zelda. I'll fate to do so. But do not fall to victim, Scatlink. I shall always remember our time together. No! Our uncle's gone. And he's bequeathed us our sword and shield. We have the spin attack. We can slash in almost a 180 degree in front of us, which is very helpful. Of course, the spin attack is for good crowd control. Normal slashes do 1 point of damage. A stab does half the damage of your blade. Spin attacks do double damage of your sword. Our sword is level 1. I didn't mean to press select there. I always get confused about that. It just really annoys me. It's like the only Zelda game that does that. Well, this particular version of it anyway. But yeah, we've got a small little buckler shield, which if we want to use, unlike in future Zelda games, funnily enough, especially in 2D ones, you don't need to hold a button in order to raise it. As long as it is facing the direction of an oncoming projectile, you can block it. Even if you are getting ready to do a spin attack, if anything hits your shield in that direction, you block it. Thing is, though, shield on the right arm, shield on the right arm, shield on the right arm, left arm. Left and right are mirrored like almost every top-down Zelda game that is sprite-based, and that annoys me. But that's a pet peeve that saves on memory, and to be honest, I think they could have spared the extra... Well, that was good crowd control. Those guys take 2 hits, but they don't come after you. They got small little dirks. These soldiers are basically the grunts. We've got some magic, but we can't use it yet. What's in here? Well, that was an almighty pedestal for the lamp. You got the lamp! Press the A button to light torches and navigate the dark. And if you notice, we got full magic, which doesn't happen in the SNES version. We can light lamps, and now we can see through dark rooms with a little bit of cone of vision, even if it's not equipped. Again, like in other Zelda games, where you have to actually have it equipped. Yeah, for some reason, later Zelda games actually kind of ruin things. We can actually burn bushes as well, which we couldn't do in the SNES version, so that's kind of cool. And you can actually punch some knights in the face with this. BAP! And it pretty much does the same amount of damage as your sword, funnily enough. But yeah, green armoured soldiers take 2 hits. If you hit them with the spin attack, they'll die in 1 because you're doing double damage. There's not much that we can do in here, so let's get out of the rain and infiltrate the castle and save Zelda from the possessed knights that have run amok. The green ones with the long swords will actually charge at you if they see you. Can I please aggro you, please? There we are. Yeah, they're actually quite on the ball. And I didn't get him with the spin attack there. I got him with the stab before I let go of the button. So, for the most part, if you do actually stab something, you would lose your charge. But if you let go at the right time, you can still get the charge off. 1, 2, there we are. Yep, that's a recovery heart. Helpful. So yeah, if you've noticed, my name is only 6 letters long. That's because that's actually the character limit, and the problem with that is I had to shorten my name in order for it to fit, so that's a bit of a workaround there. They can deflect your attacks with their swords, not their shields, ironically enough. Their shields pretty much do nothing, they're just there, so you got to get past their swords with a little bit of a duel in order to get around and hit them. If we bring out a map here, we've actually got an interior of the dungeon that we're in at the moment. If you can call this a dungeon, we're about to go into it, technically. But yeah, we're able to see that our entrances to the dungeons are marked by a little white cross. Little dots signify, as you can see here, stairs. And we've got the rooms that we've been into so far, but not the rooms that we haven't been into. Also, we've got these statues of old knights, which kind of look like us, actually. In fact, all the knights are right-handed. There's a key. I mean, look at this. Do you see the difference? In fact, their shields look like rupees. Hello there! Now we got the map of the place. So now we can actually see all the rooms that we haven't been into yet. So use the key. You don't have to stab the door, just do that, so it looks like you're sticking the key right in there. Blue soldiers, I haven't actually talked about it yet. They have 3 hit points. So, yeah, just like you with colour armours and all that. Enemies have similar that are of similar colours, mostly the knights. They have different HP depending on the colour. And pots, one-shot blues. Yeah, pots actually do more, well, anything that you throw pretty much does more damage than your sword. We have to hit that guy 3 times with our blade in order to knock out blue armoured knights. And the thing is that a pot can do it in 1. And a spin attack, we would still have to hit him at least once if we spin attack him. So, let's completely dodge these guys. We don't need to fight them. Kind of odd that Hyrule Castle would just allow you to do that when you place sentries there, and yet it's like you don't put anybody on the walkway upstairs. Interesting. Knock you out. It's kind of a shame, really. We're actually killing Knights of Hyrule, but they're possessed, and they're not going to let us go without, well, capturing us or killing us. We need that. Oh, the Boomerang! You got the Boomerang! Press select to choose it and give it a whirl. I will do that indeed, good sir. Just like in other games, the Boomerang travels a short distance. You can grab stuff from a distance and bring it back to you. So if you kill an enemy, you're walking away, then it drops, like, a bit of money or something. That's the same. In fact, we haven't picked up a single rupee. What the hell? I've got a bit of bad luck going on here. That will change in a bit. Speaking of money, rupees are the same colour as before. Green is 1, blue is 5, reds are 20. Pretty much all there is. There we are, finally grabbed our first trinket. Let's whack you with a boomerang. You can actually stun enemies, but the type of enemy donates how long they'll be stunned for, or they could just be killed outright. May do slight bit of damage, but as you can see here, this guy isn't getting stunned for that long, and he's not going down easily either. So since we know that pots do more damage, how about we just pop him with a few of these? They also give you recovery arts as well. You only get 3, they don't respawn, so use that to your advantage. As you saw there, I'll just use my boomerang to swag up the big key, master key of the dungeon. It can open many locks that small keys cannot, but the locks that actually do require small keys will still require small keys, so it's not exactly the master key. It's more like just a glorified boss key that can do other locks that small keys cannot, which this would look like that would require the small key, but it actually requires the big key. Yeah.
Thank you, Scatlink. I had a feeling you were getting close. Scatlink, listen carefully. All the soldiers in the castle have fallen under the wizard's spell, and I fear even worse has befallen my father. That wizard is an inhuman fiend. His powers are strong. Do you understand?
I do, Zelda. He's knocked out my uncle. making false, bogus claims on signposts outside. I've had to kill pretty much everybody to get to this point. I totally get it. Shit's going down.
Good. We should go quickly, before the wizard notices us. I know a secret path, but we must get to the first floor to reach it. Let's go.
I'll grab this quickly, get it $5. It was, for some reason, locked in your cell. I don't know if that was your pocket change, or if that was just a combination of other thieves' stuff, but yeah. Also, about this room. I feel like that this should be there, and that should be here, because then it would be a little bit more organic with how the stairs actually look, but like, make this room, like, opposite facing or something. And all the other rooms as well. I don't know. That's just an aesthetic opinion of mine, I guess. I mean, that's how I would design it if I was a designer. But hey, this game's a timeless masterpiece, as a lot of people call it. Definitely one of the best Zelda games. Definitely one of the best 2D Zelda games. It pretty much set the standard after Zelda 1, because Zelda 1 was very archaic. It was just like, here's a world, go do stuff. We're not going to give you any tips, and if we do, it won't translate very well. This game had the polish. Not saying that Zelda 1 didn't have the polish, but it definitely felt a little bit more archaic. Now, since we're on the GBA, obviously you might notice a slight bit of screen crunch, but it's not that bad. It's actually quite decent for what it is, because you had such a large field of view on the original. It's kind of just, you know, narrowed it down a tad. The sprites are the same size, the same, like, kind of design. Ow. And yeah, there wasn't really that much sacrifices made, and in fact there was a lot more quality of life, as you'll see later on. So we can pop outside and walk on the battlements here. Can't really do anything up here, but it just goes to show that there is a place that you can't actually get into yet. Ow. That's a barrier to the main tower. As you can tell, it goes quite high. But we can't really do anything about that right now, but it does forebode, and it also shows that dungeons can have multiple entrances. I mean, it is the castle, so fair enough, but even most iterations of Hyrule Castle in other Zelda games don't have multiple entrances.
There's a secret passage in the throne room that leads to the sanctuary. I'm sure the old man there will help us. We must hurry.
Don't worry, I got you. I will keep you safe from all the demons that are infesting the sewers. Face me, heathens! Hey-yay! Can't catch me, fools. Don't know how to climb stairs.
That ornamental shelf should open. Do you have a light? It's pitch dark inside, and you can't see without one. If you're ready, let's go. We have to push it from the left. Come on, help me.
While pushing this, which you can only access if you have Zelda with you, when it comes to finding the lamp, the chest in your house, the one where you find your uncle, and the chest next to Zelda in her cell are all interconnected. The first time you open one of those three, they will give you the lamp. And, wrong button. The others that you haven't opened will give you a blue rupee. And since I've done a little bit of ROM hacking back in the day, like years ago, I have noticed that sometimes the editor says that the chests sometimes contain one arrow or the sword, but that never seems to happen. I don't know how you change that, really. I was very useless on Hyrule Magic. But I'm not entirely too sure how that works with the GBA version, because it is a remake, even though most of it's the same. Most of it functions the same. It's really on-point hack, to the point that people call it a port. It is definitely a remake. It's just a really well-done one. To the point it's almost one-to-one. So as you can see, our lamp requires a bit of magic in order to use, which is fine. Oh boy, ropes! If we get our boomerang again, you'll notice here that ropes cannot be taken out with the boomerang, but it can stun them, which is very helpful. My stab went off, so I didn't get the spin attack. There we go. Triple kill. These guys have a... Oh, the bloody lag with the lamp went off on the brazier when the light went out. That messed me up, because I let go of the button and held it again because I pressed to charge another one, but due to the lag I didn't actually spin. That can mess you up, and that's not a GBA thing. That's in the original as well. But yeah, the boomerang can paralyze enemies. What fun fact about paralyzing enemies? If I paralyze this guy, for example, and kill him, if you kill an enemy that was stunned by the boomerang or by a similar item that causes a stun effect, a paralysis, they will always drop a green rupee. So if you want a better drop, don't paralyze the enemy. But of course, you won't need health if you're at full, so you might as well do that, and at least then you get something out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna like this as well. I don't normally like them, but for the sake of you guys seeing what I'm doing. Also, slight difference as well, which actually the GBA version makes a little bit more sense. It's not completely bright at the moment, and we still have our cone of vision. In the original, if you lit a brazier, your cone of light will be gone. So, actually a little bit more realism there, funnily enough. Although we do have a bit of differing on the outer rim of our light. Technical issues.
After passing through these sewers, we will be very close to the sanctuary. Let's be careful.
So, you may also notice that I'm recording in, oh wow, yes, all those, yes, okay. Rats drop a lot of money. So don't hit them with a boomerang, they will be stunned, you'll only get a green rupee. Kill them normally, and they will have the potential to drop a load of money. I mean, we're almost up to 50. Before I get back to what I was saying, looks like I've cleared out this room. Our maximum carriage of rupees is 999, and that cannot be upgraded. Although our bombs of 10 and 30 can be upgraded. But we can actually find those before we find the item, well, the bow in order to use them. So, we might have arrows, but we can't just lob them at enemies like spears. I feel like we should be able to. That would be a nice touch. They just don't have the same distance. They can't, like, arc and drop. But as I was about to say with the GBA, is that I'm recording this on the GameCube, of course, but it is HD, 480p, 60 FPS, because I'm using my HD Carby in order to record this to get the best possible quality. And yes, because I live in the UK, I have power equipment, so I have to use a Swiss via an SD media launcher in order to force it in a 480p. Although I could just de-interlace it anyway in editing, I'd rather get the full proper quality that you would be able to get. And you know what? No issues, because the Game Boy Player technically, well, the Game Boy Advance technically, is region free, so that's not an issue. So we got a key from that one. Oh, some more keys. We'll just use the boomerang to take you guys out, because it's one of the few enemies that you can actually kill with the boomerang. And I killed him. I don't know if he dropped anything because he went into the wall. God damn it. Ah, light! Must be getting close to civilization. Must be getting close to our goal. In fact, we do have a separate map for this area, and there is no map or compass to grab for this particular area. Literally, all there was the map for Hyrule Castle. But almost every room here, you can go into in the sewers. Except for this. That is definitely a crack, and that sounds hollow, as you heard by stabbing my sword there. If I stabbed in the wall normally, sounds different. That means that there is definitely a room behind there. So we're going to have to come back later at some point. Although, if we can get back through Hyrule Castle with Zelda, which would probably not be the best idea, I'll have to find another way in as well. Maybe that's how we get back in. And maybe this could be another room. So we'll have to see later on in the future. This is a really great tutorial dungeon. It's not too difficult, but it still challenges you, because you could take a lot of damage from the ball and chain trooper. You might get gypped by the guards charging at you and then just bundle on top of you, and you can't do nothing. But it's still challenging. Enemies move fast, but you have the boomerang, which is good balance, so if you do find things tough, you can paralyze enemies. The trade-off is that you only get a rupee. It's a really nice tutorial dungeon that teaches you pretty much everything in the first minute of the game, while putting you through a dungeon required for progression.
The sanctuary is just beyond that door. Pull that switch over there.
Well, this one. Kind of already learned how to pull switches from the knights outside before they were... I don't even know if the knights were possessed outside. They did have, like, that looming shadow, but that was a trap switch to catch out people that are probably trying to break in from behind? I don't know. But hey, we took care of the ropes. That was nothing. Yeah. And she just gives us the tutorial for pulling the thing, so that's fine. We already know how to do that. It's kind of funny. That's how you know that you've got the right one, because she'll tell you how to actually do it if you haven't already figured it out. But if you actually try to do it beforehand, and she doesn't tell you, and you figure it out, you're actually punished. But, you know, technically, that was the boss of this dungeon, because there is no boss for this dungeon. Instead, we make it to the sanctuary, which was our goal.
Princess Zelda, you're safe. And are you the one who rescued her, Scatlink?
It's thanks to Scatlink that I escaped from the dungeon. When I was captive, the wizard said, "Once I have finished with you, the final one, the sage's seal will open." Scatlink, you must not let the land of Hyrule fall into the wizard's clutches. If he breaks the seal of the seven sages, a wave of evil power will be unleashed. If that happens, the people of Hyrule shall never again know peace. Before that happens, before it's too late, please, you must defeat the wizard before he destroys all of Hyrule. You can. You must.
I sense that a mighty evil force guides the wizard's actions and augments his magical power.
The only weapon potent enough to defeat the wizard is the legendary Master Sword, but only the person remaining who has any idea where the blade may be is the village elder. He is said to be a descendant of one of the 7 sages. Perhaps he can tell you more. I will mark his house on your map, but we must take care. I am certain the castle soldiers are looking for you and the princess now. The 2 of you cannot stay together, so I shall hide Princess Zelda here. Do not worry. Seek the elder. Do you understand?
I do. I've got a hell of a task ahead of me. Kind of just got dragged into it, but desperate times call for desperate measures. That's that. And for our reward in a holy place such as the Sanctuary, we are blessed with our actions in saving the princess with a heart container. The only heart container that you'll find in a chest. So, with that, guys, in the next episode, we will be heading out into the world of Hyrule. It's now completely open to us. The storm must have passed by. And we need to go to Kakariko in order to search for the Elder that might know where the Master Sword is hidden and how to obtain it. We gotta take down Agahnim before he gets to Zelda. We got her out of harm's way for now, but who knows how long until they discover this hidden pathway. We didn't exactly shut the door behind us. So, I have to think about that. But until then, see you guys next time for more of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.